Hello and welcome back to our playthrough of GMT Games Atlantic Chase. We're playing the British in the solo Bismarck scenario after having run it twice from the German perspective. So with that introduction, we'll jump right into the action. All right, so now it's on to the British, rolling for weather. Weather stays bad. So I'd like to get this convoy into a range where it can complete, but that intel marker is interfering with it. I could try to complete this convoy. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to complete this convoy. Let's just start there. So with an 11, the Germans seize the initiative. So that convoy is going to time lapse. And essentially that convoy is going to turn itself into a station in Gibraltar. But now the Germans get to go again. 5. So that is an XBB result. All right. There isn't one that unidentified. So we're going to select an unidentified task force, and so they're going to do all the sort of normal things. So that, just for clarity, that intel marker should have actually gone away previously because the intel doesn't fit with stations. I forgot, but I don't think it really mattered. So they are going to do that. Now they're going to do a naval search. They've got 6. We've got 7. And the British are going to be rolling for interrupt. So they will get a -1. So we're on the 13 column. We have a -1. -1. 8. So that reduces it to 3. So we will remove those 3. That's all right. No contact. Nope. And then the Germans will time lapse. So now they're intel limited. So I'm only going to remove the 1 because they're treated as very slow. So we're just going to remove that 1 trajectory segment from them. They're treated as very slow when they're unidentified. So that's that. So now, having finished that naval search, we seize initiative. Or the British attempt to seize initiative and actually do succeed in doing that. So what I think I'm going to do is roll for weather. I'm going to start by rolling for weather. No go. So I'm going to try to do a naval. I'm going to lay down 1 more trajectory here. And then I'm going to attempt to do a naval search right there. So the Germans have 1, 2, 3. The Germans have 6. I have 5. So that's an 11. I have +1 for coordination. They do not get anything for that. So +1 for coordination on the 11 column. 8. So the Germans also essentially I get a shadow result. And then we lapse all my convoys, time lapse all my convoys. So this bad boy turns into a station right here. And the hood probably would like to okay, the hood is also going to turn into a station right there. Okie doke. Seize initiative. No. So I am going to do a couple of things here. first thing... Okay. First thing first is I'm going to lay down a trajectory. Again, I want to keep that convoy moving towards Liverpool Clyde. Now I'm tempted up here to attempt to do a naval search up here, but I'm kind of... I'd also like to complete. Now this is going to be made harder by this tally marker, but it's only going to get harder later by that tally marker. So I'm going to attempt to complete with my Gibraltar convoy. Not gonna do it. All right, so now the Germans are back up. Will I regret that eventually? So 5. All right, so their unidentified convoy, or task force, sorry, is going to continue what it was up to after I roll for the weather. And the weather switches to good, which I'm not sure is what the Germans wanted. All right. So time for a naval search. Germans have 6, British have 6. So we're on the 12 column here. There are no modifiers. A 7 result is early or late. So they punch a hole, which unfortunately gets rid of that intel marker. And then we will get rid of all of this. And then the Germans will time lapse. They will roll for this, since they are up there on the Arctic line. But don't get a very good result. So the British now attempt to seize the initiative and succeed. Well, with good weather... All right, so let's do a couple of things. First things first, I'm going to reorganize and I'm going to place the Hood into this task force. It's been useful for coordination, I know, but I think it'll be better if it's in that task force. And then I am going to do a trajectory action. I'm going to basically get myself into position where hopefully I can do something against this task force here. So I'm going to have him go there. Now this is an interesting problem. Because this is going to provide coordination, air support coordination. But it is, I don't think there's anything I can do about that. No, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about that. Okay. And then I will also have this task force, these pair of cruisers, move in there. And then now my question is airstrike versus naval search. So on the airstrike, I'm going to be on this table, this here. Now, the one reason to do this is it's going to identify the task force. So I think I am going to do this. So basically, there's trajectory length is 6. 1, 2 plus, is 7. Plus the Germans have 5. I get +2 for coordination in good weather, and he gets -1 for air support. So this is going to be done on the 7 column with a +1. And mainly I want to identify this task force. So that's a 7. So that's a hit if the convoy is very slow. And since we don't know what it is, we have to roll to find out what it is to find out if it's very slow. It is unlikely to be. And in fact, it is a false report again. So the Germans once again had me chasing shadows. So after an airstrike, I time lapse, so it's good weather. So both of these are simply gonna turn into stations. and then we will vie for initiative. The British will maintain the initiative. All right. So I should have done this last time. This was a mistake. Luckily, it did not exactly come back to haunt me. So the British are going to do that. And then I'm actually going to attempt to complete this. So he is 6 hexes away. And we do complete that. So this convoy comes off the board. And what do I get for completing a convoy? Convoys completed. Yes, each. So I get 4 victory points for that. That goes to there. And then I am going to attempt to complete this convoy. +1. So he completes as well. So that is going to give me another 4 victory points. Now I'm in a position right now where I'll start losing victory points every time the Germans go. So I am going to, I think I have a replacement convoy on here somewhere. Yes, I have a replacement convoy. A is an inbound convoy coming from St. John's. So I'm going to roll to see if I can get that convoy into play. This should be there, that because they have +2 to this now. They have +2 on that now, but I don't think this is not a, there's no modifier on this. So on a 7 or better, that will enter play. Okay, so 7 or better, that enters play. Then he is going to lay this trajectory down in the normal way. And then I believe I will simply time lapse, because there doesn't seem to be much else better to do. So he's very slow, so we remove 2. That's a pass, so it goes back to the Germans. So the good news is I don't lose any VPs at that point. And the Germans roll a 2. So there's no longer a +1. Number of German task forces currently in play is 0. So there's an A result. Actually, that's okay. Well, so they are going to have an airstrike against this guy. And that is on the 0 column of the airstrike table. This was a giant mistake on my part. Okay, well, I get some coordination bonus. I get a -1 because I have another task force in the hex. So that's a 3, so that's a miss. Okay. That said, clearly one of the things I need to do at this point is get this task force out of that range. Okay, but I still have to, I'm going to have to get the initiative back. So I am vying for initiative. It's a tie, so the Germans maintain initiative. Oh, don't get another airstrike. Okay, so 4 is an XU. Okay, so they're going to bring another task force into play. So we're going to bring another German task force into play. Comes in Narvik. This scenario from the German, when you play it from the British perspective, isn't as much about battle and sinking ships as it is about chasing phantoms and getting them removed from the map because they are a false contact. So that goes on the board, and then the Germans continue their next action, which is the same action. Oh, sorry, it's an XA result, but I think that's going to turn out to be... Okay, it's going to be the same result. So this bad boy, he's going to lay down his trajectories. So now we'll do a naval search. The British have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. We have, the Germans have 11. They have an intel marker. So the British first thing are going to roll for interrupt. I'm going to roll for it, not just set it to a specific number. All right, so that is going to give them no result. So what did I say? I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we are rolling on the furthest table, the 16 plus column with no modifier. 10. Well, it's still an early or late result. So that results in us doing that. And then the Germans will time lapse. They are up there on the Arctic Circle. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that gets rid of their intel marker too. So that was a fair result for them. And then seize initiative, +1 here. That is not going to do it. So what are the Germans going to do? With a 2, they're going to do another airstrike. So they will again do this with an airstrike. So again, we have trajectory total is 0. And it's a -1 because I have a coordinating task force. That is a 7. So I get a contact marker, and I take a hit if I have a slow ship. I do not have a slow ship. So the net result of that is that this British task force has a contact marker. I have got to get out of this hex. This is not a good place to be. Boy, but this is, I mean, this isn't much better. I mean, maybe, I guess I could go up here, and then I would be in bad weather in the Arctic Circle. Okay. Vie for initiative with a +2, the British, well, regardless, the British get it back. Okay. Well, I hate sitting here. But if I go to other places, I'm still within airstrike range. So I think what I'm going to do, in order to try to like tamp down the chances of an airstrike, I remove my own chances of an airstrike, mind you. But I'm worried that like one lucky shot and he's going to have more victory points. So I'm going to lay down, first thing I'm going to do is 3 trajectory actions. So these 2 are going to do roughly the same thing. They're going to coordinate into that hex. And then this convoy is going to continue its path towards Clyde. So now we're going to do a naval search here. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be an 8. We have +1 for coordination. We're doing this in bad weather. And he's going to have 0 for coordination. He's 2 hexes away, but also this is a bad weather hex, so I don't think he can do it anyway. So we are rolling on the 8 with a +1 naval search here. So that's a 9. All right, so we get a contact, and we reduce him to 3. So we will remove these 3, and we'll place a contact marker right there. So there's a contact marker in that hex. Having done a naval search, Germans will attempt to seize the initiative unsuccessfully. Sorry, and I am going to time lapse, and both of these guys are going to simply time lapse 2 hexes rather than rolling. And now we're going to do naval search again. This time, trajectory length is 3. +1 for coordination, and +4 for the contact marker. I believe in this case, I don't reveal what it is. I just take the +4 for that. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. So that is a 10 on this column, which is basically contact and a station. So a pretty predictable result, really. Contact and a station. And then we will, the Germans will seize the initiative, and we'll stop the video there. And when we come back for the next video, we'll find out what happens next. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying the Atlantic Chase series. Hope you're enjoying the channel. Please leave comments if you are with suggestions, especially suggestions for games that you love to see come to the channel or improvements that we could make to the channel. And we will see you in the next video on Agility Snips Gaming Table.